Thank God. She has her faculties, she's sharp, she...
On with the show!
Caesar has come to the capital to share his triumphs accomplished with all of Rome. And Julius Caesar is the greatest leader that Rome has ever known. To bring us to greater heights of praise and glory. We have never had such a leader, such a ruler as Julius Caesar. And that is why Caesar, 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 Caesar.
Why dost thou lead these men about the streets?
We make holiday to see Caesar and to rejoice in his triumph.
Wherefore rejoice, what conquest brings he home? You blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things, oh you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome. Do you not Pompey?
Do you not Pompey?
Many a time and often you climbed up to the walls and battlements.
To towers and windows, yea, to chimney tops with patient expectation.
To see great Pompey,
To see great Pompey,
past the streets of Rome.
you blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things, oh you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome.
And do you now put on your best attire?
And do you now call out a holiday?
And do you now strew flowers in his way?
That comes in triumph over Pompey's blood.
1, 2,
You blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things, oh you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome. You blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things, oh you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome. Rome, Rome.
Peace ho! Caesar speaks!
Caesar speaks!
Calphurnia!
Here, my lord.
Antonius!
Caesar, my lord. When Caesar says do this, it is performed.
Caesar!
Who calls? Bid every noise be still! Peace yet again!
Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a tongue shriller than all the music cry. Caesar! Speak! Caesar is turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of March!
What man is that?
A soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Set him before me. Let me see his face.
Fellow, come from the throng. Look upon Caesar.
What hast thou sayest to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March!
He is a dreamer. Let us leave him now.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you do.
I'm not gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony. But let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eye that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late with passions of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself, which give some soil perhaps to my behaviours. But let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number, Cassius, be you one, nor construe any further than that poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine have buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other thing.
'Tis just, and it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, so that you might see your shadow. I have heard where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus, and groaning under this age's yoke, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of.
What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius, yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it you would impart to me? If it be aught toward the general good, then set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look on both indifferently. For let the gods so speed me, as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I was born free as Caesar. So are you. We both have fed as well, and we both can endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once, upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing at her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, now leap in with me into this angry flood, and swim to yonder point?" Upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow, so indeed he did. The torrent roared as we did buffet it with lusty sinews, throwing it aside, and stemming it with parts of controversy, but ere we could arrive at the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink." I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did, from the flames of Troy, upon his shoulder the old Anchises bear, so from the waves of Tiber did I, the tired Caesar. And this man has now become a god. And Cassius is a wretched creature, and must bend his body if Caesar carelessly but nod on him. Oh, you gods, it doth amaze me. A man of such a feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world and bear the palm alone.
Another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
And he doth bestride a narrow world like a colossus. And we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings. Brutus, Caesar, what should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together. Yours is as fair a name. Mouth them, it doth become the tongue as well. Weigh them, it is as heavy. Conjure with them. Brutus will start a spirit as soon as Caesar. Now, in the name of all the gods at once, upon what meat doth this our Caesar feed, that he is grown so great? When could they say, till now, that talked of Rome, that her wide walks encompassed but one man? Now, is it Rome indeed, and room enough, when there is in it but one only man?
What you would work me to, I have some aim. How I have thought of this and of these times I shall recount hereafter. What you have said, I will consider. What you have to say, I will with patience hear. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us.
I am glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus.
The games are done, and Caesar is returning, but look you, Cassius, the angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow, and all the rest look like a chidden train.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
Caesar! 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 Caesar!
Antonius!
Caesar!
Let there be men about me who are fat, sleek-headed men, and as such, sleep at nights. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much, and such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He's a noble Roman and well given.
Would he were fatter. But I fear him not. Yet, if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much. He's a great observer and looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays, as thou dost, Antony. Oh. He hears no music. Seldom he smiles, and smiles in such a sort as if he mocked himself and scorned his spirit that could be moved to smile at anything. Brutus, I rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar.
Hail Caesar!
Caesar!
Casca, tell us what has chanced today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, you were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what had chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered him. And being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand. Thus. And then the people fell a-shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why, for that too.
Was the crown offered him thrice?
Aye, marry, worst. And he put it by thrice, every time gentler than other. And at every putting by, mine honest neighbours shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery. I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown, yet 'twas not a crown neither. 'Twas one of these coronets. And as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would fain have had it. Then he offered it to him again. Then he put it by again. But to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. And then he offered it to him the third time. He put it the third time by, and still as he refused it, the rabblement shouted, and threw up their sweaty nightcaps, and uttered such a deal of stinking breath, because Caesar had refused the crown, that it had almost choked Caesar, for he swooned and fell down in it.
But soft, I pray you. What? Did Caesar swoon?
He fell down in the marketplace, and foamed at the mouth, and was speechless.
'Tis very like. He hath the falling sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not. But you and I and honest Casca, we had the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I know Caesar fell down.
And what said he when he came unto himself?
When he came unto himself again, he said that if he had said or done anything amiss, he desired their worships think it was but his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, "Alas, good soul!" and forgave him with all their hearts. But there's no heed to be taken of them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, he would have done no less.
And after that he came thus sad away.
Aye.
Did Cicero say anything?
Aye! He spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, and I tell you that, I'll ne'er look you in the face again, but those that understood him smiled at one another and shook their heads. But for mine own part, it was Greek to me. There was more foolery yet, if I could remember it.
Casca, will you sup with me tonight?
No, I'm promised forth.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
Aye, if I be alive, and your mind hold, and your dinner worth eating.
Good, I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell, both.
What a blunt fellow is this grown to be. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I will come home to you. Or if you will, come home to me and I will wait for you.
I will do so. But till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble, yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. For who's so firm that cannot be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now, and he were Cassius, he should not humor me. I will this night, in several hands, in at his windows throw, as if they came from several citizens, writings all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him, or worse days endure. Now, follow me.